Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my buddy Dave with us. Dave is a new author. He wrote a book, One Student to Another. Dave, first, congratulations on the book and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kevin. It's great to be here.
So, what inspired you to write the book?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I've gotten it a few times. And really, the simple answer is the book is what I wish I had known when I went into college, because I figured out all the tips in the book. But by the time I had figured them out, I was already done with college.
But I think it's important, Dave, for you to tell us a little bit more about your background, because when we first met a couple of years ago, you take a lot of classes at the same time. Let's talk about that strategy.
Yeah, yeah. So after high school, I started at UML, and I was actually on the athletics teams there. So my focus was more on the athletic side of it. But coming into my sophomore year, I realized that my strong suit wasn't necessarily athletics, it was more the academics. So my background academically as a business major, my freshman year was very general education. And then once I realized that, I was really getting into the full stride of things at UML in my classes, I decided to move away from the athletic side and really focus on classes. So my sophomore year in the fall, I decided to take 8 academic classes, so 24 credits. And I was able to perform quite well in it, which was unexpected. I thought I was going to have to drop a class or two, but I ended up finishing that semester and doing fine. And so the following semester, sophomore year spring, I ended up taking one more, 9 classes with 27 credits in one semester while working full time as an intern. And when I was able to accomplish that, I was like, I need to kind of teach some of my tips to other students so that they can push themselves in the way that I did.
So, David, all kidding aside, you were practically a double full-time student.
Yeah, because
That's
4
fabulous.
classes is full time. Yeah, exactly.
So that's amazing. So I really liked that, that you took the time to write the book. And I wanted people to understand your background because, you know, if you accomplished 8 and 9 classes at a time, obviously you learned some tips because that is just a huge time commitment. And I always admired your dedication to studying because you can't take 9 classes and decide, I don't feel like really doing much the next 2 days because it would just, you know, overwhelm you. You never get caught up. So talk to
Yeah.
me about the discipline, because that's what fascinates me, your discipline of sitting down Saturday and Sunday for the whole day and studying.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely no way that you can accomplish something like that without really having a good time management structure. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. Um, So obviously, waking up early and going to bed late are, non-sustainable activities. So you can't do that every single day. You'll burn out. So my best tip, like, and strategy to getting a lot of it done was utilizing the weekends, but make sure you still give yourself free time. So maybe I would pick a Sunday to work and I would only work for the first half of the day. But when I did go to work, I did it with a very intense focus. So I would prepare into those days. So a weekend like work shift, I'll do maybe 5 hours worth of homework, but I'll go in knowing exactly what I have to do so that I don't go in and then check my phone a couple times and like maybe go grab a bite to eat, grab a coffee. It's like I sit down and I spend the 5 hours doing it and get going task by task and crossing them off. That way I can still, when I finish, then be free to do whatever else I wanted to do.
Makes sense. So Dave, how can people buy the book?
So the book is right now available on the website, which is onestudenttoanother.com, which is the title of the book. And so you can buy them in packs of 1, 3, or 5, depending on if you want one for yourself or other young people that you know. And it'll eventually be on Amazon, but for now, it's just on the website.
But one thing I like about the book, Dave, is it's appropriate for all students. Whether you're a freshman just coming into the university, whether you're starting grad school, no matter what level you are, there's tips in the book that's going to help everyone, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what was cool for me is I got the experience of being both a full-time and a part-time student, because my final semester I only took 2 classes, as well as I've taken labs. I've taken online classes, night classes. I've even done study abroad, foreign classes, and I've done the typical, on-campus classes. And I've lived on campus, off campus. I've been a commuter, and I've been fully online. So I've tried it all. And when I wrote the book, the main thing I focused on was to not make it just for business students, even though I'm a business student.
Sure.
I made it very broad enough so that it can apply to every college major.
Makes perfect sense. Dave, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.